You're looking at the screen of a Pentium 90 PC running Windows 3.1 and the Netscape Navigator web browser. Within the browser, we're running WebWriter, an interface development tool for World Wide Web applications. WebWriter includes an editor for HTML, the hypertext markup language used in web pages. The WebWriter editor has two areas: a preview area on the left side, which shows the HTML page under construction, and a control panel on the right side, where the user specifies the actions to be performed by WebWriter. To demonstrate the WebWriter HTML editor, we will load an existing file and make some changes to it. We can type a file name or URL in this box and click the Load button. In the preview area, all WebWriter objects are displayed and surrounded by handles, such as this triangle or this labeled arrow. Handles allow the user to select an object for cut and paste, movement, or to edit its properties. To preview the final appearance of the page, we can hide the handles. But we'll show the handles for now as we continue editing. When we select the List handle, the control panel displays an editing screen for list objects. To change to a bulleted list, we select the bullet option and click Done to see the change. Here are the new bullets. The circles between objects are insertion points. They indicate places where the user can add new material. WebWriter can edit all of the HTML object types listed in this menu, which includes all HTML version 2 objects and the Netscape extensions. For example, WebWriter supports images. Let's add one to this page. First, we select an insertion point. Next, we choose the image object type. We click Insert. WebWriter adds a placeholder for our image. Finally, we fill out a form to describe the image we want. A shortcut menu allows us to choose an image URL. We click on Done, and the desired image appears. On the next line, we have an anchor object. Anchors remain active during editing, so we can use links at any time by clicking on them. WebWriter also edits tables. This page already contains a table. Clicking on its handles, we bring up its property editor. This table has 2 rows and 2 columns, a small border, and no caption. Let's give it a caption and look at the results. WebWriter also supports clickable pictures, also known as clickable maps. Let's add one. We fill out the form that appears. We choose a picture. We also specify a file in which the system can store information about the clickable areas we will define. Next, we specify a page to browse if the user clicks on the picture outside of any special region. In this case, we specify the Stanford University homepage. Next, we designate a clickable area within the image. That area can be a rectangle, a circle, or a polygon. Let's choose a rectangle. When the user clicks on this rectangle region, the browser will browse to a different URL. Let's specify that it will browse to the Xerox Corporation homepage. Now, let's define the rectangle by clicking on the image. Our rectangle will go from this point to this point. We click Done. Like anchors, clickable maps are active when they are not selected. We deselect the map. Then, clicking in the rectangle, we go to the Xerox homepage. Clicking anywhere else on the logo, we go to the Stanford homepage. WebWriter also supports forms, which will be discussed later, and many other HTML objects. WebWriter can create plain web pages. It can also build interactive web-based applications through the use of its interpreters feature. As an example, here is a simple GIF file listing tool. The user types a directory name in this text field and hits Return. The application displays all of the GIF images in the specified directory. Let's use WebWriter to build this application. Every new application needs a destination file name. We'll name this application test.html. This application is an HTML form, so we begin by inserting a form object. In the right column, WebWriter asks us for information. The form object will run a program to generate the new page when the user has typed the directory name. WebWriter offers several interpreters, programs for generating a new web page. These interpreters combine a template page, which is named here, with the output of one or more programs. In our case, we want to use Unix programs, so we choose the Unix interpreter. Next, we need a place for the user to type the directory name. A text input field will do what we want. We give this field a variable name so that we can refer to it later. Let's call it dir. We need a place to display the output of our program. This is the function of an output area. WebWriter asks us to specify a Unix command line that will generate the output. We want to list the files in the directory that the user typed. We can refer to the user's input by putting the name dir in square brackets. The change directory command, cd, jumps to the directory. ls star.gif will list the GIF image files. We need to specify to the interpreter how the output of the Unix program will be formatted. This formatting statement will be applied, in turn, to each line of the output. We use a little bit of HTML here so the images will be displayed. After we type image, source, equals, and a server name, we need to specify the file to display. Again, we use the variable dir that we defined earlier and put it in square brackets. Next, we need the file name which is produced by our ls command. WebWriter stores each line of output in a variable called line. In this case, line will contain the name of each GIF file. We add a closing angle bracket and we are done. We press done to complete the output area. Now we save our application to its file. We can jump to our application and test it. This time, we list a different directory, our research group's photo board. We have already used WebWriter to build several simple applications. This example, based on an early Xerox graphical directory editor, displays the contents of two directories and allows files to be moved from one directory to another. This is a simple chat program. The user of the browser on the top can type a message, which is then received by the user on the bottom. Of course, the users are ordinarily on different computers and take turns sending messages. Because WebWriter runs in a web browser, it makes HTML editing available with an accurate preview on all popular platforms. The WebWriter interpreters make it possible to write web applications by writing a little code and a template of the output appearance. WebWriter also provides a library of routines in the C++ programming environment that support creating larger applications.